Hello, welcome back to Once Driven, Forever Smitten. We've got a problem. My nuts are knackered. Or at least the ramp's nuts are anyway. We need to order new ones. Don't know when that's going to happen, but the pressure's on to get some cars done. Can't have the Nova sitting outside here with what it's got on it and things, you know, snowplow bumper and all that. So I'm going to move the red Astra out and leave it outside so I can get the blue Cavalier in and just jack it up high in the air, because we're going to have to take the engine out it. And also I need to fit flexes and do the handbrake cable on the back end and everything. So I need the space for the Cavalier. I'm just going to make do and do the best that we can for the moment. So now the red Astra's outside, Nova's safely on that side, where to be fair we could get it jacked up and sort out the back brakes on it anyway, plenty of space. I've now got the main bit of the workshop where I can go and put the Cavalier. I'm going to turn it round though so the back end's facing out, so I've got as much light as possible to get the handbrake and the rear flexes installed on it. I was going to do the brake pipes front to back. To do that I'll probably need to get it jacked right up in the air, and I'll probably do it when the engine's out as well, so I can just run them along the bulkhead neatly. And I also want to check the bulkhead for overall condition, so get this turned around and get it in there, jacked up, and continue with the welding and rebuilding of the brakes. Right, I'm going to open this and the jack's going to fall out probably. No, you don't. This is my heavy duty jack, and I've got the big axle stand as well. Alright, so it's now 2 days later. It's Friday evening and I'm going to do the plate on the near side back of the Cavalier, which isn't as bad as the off side, and that'll do us for Friday night. It's just a matter of chipping away and doing a little bit at a time rather than trying to do everything at once. And I'll be back down all day Saturday pretty much, trying to get as much extra done as possible without needing to use the ramp. And Kenzo's on the hunt to see what's wrong with the Nova indicators. We're missing an earth wire somewhere because indicators don't work but the hazards do, which is all part of the Nova video saga, which I'm keeping completely separate. Right, welding, cutting, grinding, knocking holes in the Cavalier again time. welcome to Once Driven Forever Smitten. This is the next instalment of the Cavalier CD rebuild. Got a bit of a problem because I had a bad reaction to the Moderna booster, which has lost me 5 days worth of work on the car. Not good at all. So basically I've had to go and severely cut back the amount of work I'm going to do in the car to try and get it ready for an 838 mile non-stop run. Now I've continued to weld the car. I'll get all the welding done for the MOT. In fact, the exercise at the moment is just to do the bare minimum to get it through the MOT. So I will go through the welding in a little bit. There's still some bits and pieces that I need to do to the car, but I'm not doing the timing belt because it's not actually due for another 12 months, and I'm not doing the clutch even though I would have quite liked to have done it. At the moment I've got brake pipes to do, flexes to install, handbrake cables to install. I've got the broken Eibach spring off it there, an inner drive shaft gaiter to add, couple of other bits and pieces to sort out on it. But it's the 29th of December and I need the car on the road tomorrow and MOT'd, so there's really not much time left to scrape it through. The biggest issue with the car has been the welding. I'm quite surprised and shocked at just how badly the shell has deteriorated. The corrosion has really got to the car, to the point where I would say this is probably its last year on the road. When I get it through the MOT here, it's gone really soft in some essential parts of the car, which are really difficult. You can't get replacement panels to get in around the seatbelt anchors at the rear and stuff. So it's looking like it's going to be a reshell job. But if that's the case, the car's going to be going out in style in 2022. Now we had a burst inner drive shaft gaiter, which was a bit odd, but I hadn't noticed it before. Must just have been sheer age causing that. Yeah, man, on you go. There we go. Well, I've got a new one here, so that's good. Now, is it going to just shove on? Yes, it is. Lovely. Okay. Get the grease and pack this in here. All of it in. All the excess grease off this. You're going to click in. There we go, squeeze it with the blue pliers and that's that on nicely. Same to do with the little one. Yeah, I often find with these small clips for the inner side of the gaiter, I've got to cut the end off them because otherwise they don't clip together tightly. There we go, lovely. That's our new gaiter on. I'm also super pleased to announce that HJS have been out to fix that up. Woohoo! How smooth is that? Now it's a matter of reinstalling a drive shaft. These usually go in pretty easy. Like so. Lovely. Okay. Made not a bad bit of progress. The brakes are all done up, need to bleed them. I've got a couple of bits of welding on the floor, the back of the sill and at the seatbelt anchor that I need to do when the car's on the ground. So we're just going to hit it with some Gravitex underbody treatment, but it's too cold to come out the bottle, so we're heating it up by a heat gun at the moment. We're going to go all around the inner wheel arch here, and there's some bits at the back of the floor and bits that's been welded up in the boot that all need to be sprayed with that to give it a bit of protection as best we can from it all rusting out again. Well, considering we've had a quarter of the amount of time that I expected to have, this has gone pretty well. We're about to put the wheels back on the car, and then I've got a few plates of welding to do, a bit of paint to add to it, and that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, I need to adjust the handbrake shoes up on the discs, but I'll just run you through everything that's been done to the car so far. So on this front side here, we have replaced an inner drive shaft gaiter and one of the eye-back springs which came off Kenzo's car turbo. We've done the oil and the spark plugs in it. We haven't done the timing belt or the clutch, but they don't need doing urgently anyway. If we move to the back, it's had a couple of plates at the sill here, a plate in the back there. It's got the new calipers, discs, bearings and back plates. It's got new handbrake cables. It's got a new brake flexi on it there. I've put a new fuel filter on it as well. And I think that's about it, aside from the welding on the other side. Oh yeah, we've done the front jacking points. So it's had a lot done to it, not as much as I wanted it to be, but the car should be okay to go and hammer 838 miles on it in one go. We'll find out tomorrow when it's going for its MOT, but at the moment I'm going to go and get some dinner because I'm starving. So it's like, I don't know, what day is it? Wednesday night. I'm going to go up the road and get some dinner, so it gives me my second wind to come down here and hopefully finish off the bits of welding on it tonight. I'll probably do better at it if I get some food in me and chill out for a bit rather than pushing on through it and getting impatient. But what I'll do now is I'll go and tweak the handbrake shoes up on it, get that right, and then we'll get the wheels on it and drop it back down onto the ground. Okay, so what we've got to do now is remove the seat and lift the carpet, because there's a hole, well, a couple of holes in the floor, and also I need to fit a couple of fuel pipe clips because it's not quite right. So that's the next thing, 4 13mm bolts to remove the seat. We'll just see, will the carpet, the back half of the carpet lift without having to do much else? I think it will. Here, because it's a CD, you get this extra bit of sound deadening, which not all of them would have. And also that's your rear passenger compartment heating duct there. Let's see if we can find out where these holes are in the floor from above. Yep, we can see we've got rot around the back of that seat mount there, and we've got rot here. So this stuff, this black stuff, is like horrible sound deadening, so I'll try and get that lifted, and I'll try and get in and get a couple of repair panels in there, work out how I'm going to do it. Sound deadening's stuck down really well. Sometimes it just lifts. I can't get it with a screwdriver, so I'm going to utilise the chisel of air. Easy. Okay, so now all that's lifted, we can see we've got a hole there, a dent in the floor there where it's hit something, which is probably me. That bit there, that's quite rotten around where that drain plug was, so I'll just weld that up. And of course we've got this bit around the back of the seat mount which I'll have to attend to, so I'll go and get the grinder out and start getting these bits cleaned up now. Okay, after some grinding and shaping, I've got a bit of metal there in an L shape, a rectangular bit there, and I'm just going to put this bit in the side to get rid of that rotten bit, and then I'm going to refit the little grommet in the floor there. So yeah, I'm going to start welding these bits in place now. You see, some of this is just nigh on impossible to weld to. It just kept blowing holes in there. Same there, having to chase it round and stuff, so just going to hit this with some stone chip now, just to protect the bare metal that's there. We'll get some seam sealer onto it as well and try and keep the water out. Not going to see this anyway, so I don't care. You know, hides a multitude of sins, does this stuff. So satisfying to use though. So we'll just give it a bit of seam sealer around the welds there, just to waterproof them, because it'd be nice to try and keep a bit of water from coming in the car interior, you know, just a bit. Some finishing touches being applied for the night. Bit of King's Blue paint going in the bottom of the sill that's been replaced. I've done pretty much everything else. I've got the back shock absorber to tighten up. I've got the door card to put on it and the centre console to put in. And then I'm going to take it up the road because I really want to get some heat into the brakes and see how it's behaving and everything before the MOT tomorrow, because I've only got tomorrow morning to get anything if it snags here. Well, I've kind of nailed it together enough for tonight, so I'm just going to go and check the lights and the horn and the washers and all that. Well, they work. The horn isn't working very well. Great. Okay, I have to find a horn for it. Okay, so we the battery was a bit flat, so we put it in charge. So the horn does work, as I shall demonstrate. Good old Cavalier horn, that. Don't make one like that anymore. Right, so I'm going to pack everything away into it, check the wheels are tight, and then go and take it a run, get some fuel in it, and see how it's going to go. Give it a good run for the first time in about a year, I think. Okay, so it's sitting, ticking away quite happily. I'm going to go and transfer a few bits and pieces out the Omega into this and take it up the road via Tesco, probably, to go and get some 99 octane into the damn thing. I got a door that's open somewhere, that sounds quite noisy. Right, I'll have to go and find the torch as well because it's dark. Don't know if you can see that, but I can't. It's on the inside of the windscreen. I'm going to have to get that cleaned up before I take this out on the road. Let's just get the Omega backed into the garage just now. Just leave this ticking over and warming up, see if it might demist the screen up. Sweet, comfortable Omega. I think I might give this a dose of rust proofing while it's down here, because it's going to need it. I'm mortified at how badly the corrosion's got into that Cavalier. That was always a fairly solid car. Wouldn't say it was an A class, but it was a solid B, and now it's like a sort of C minus or a D. Not great. I'm going to get this reverse straight in first time. Should do. The Omega is long but quite narrow. Oh, fail! Hit the bin with a mirror. I'm going to do it again now. No, I'm not. Yes! In you go. I can't see out that mirror now because it's twisted round. Right, we're in. That'll do. Okay, not left in here I'm going to need tonight. Let's go Cavalier driving. Woohoo! What have you done?
Done most of the headlining and now, so it's getting there.
Nova headlining.
Nova headlining, it's a bit of pain, but we'll get there,
Oh deal, well that's us finished for tonight. Big day tomorrow, last couple of bits to do in the Cavalier. We're going to find out now what it drives like, and tomorrow it's going for its MOT, and it needs to pass because I literally need to go with it as soon as it's MOT'd, so they better not screw me around. Right, that's it, locking up the unit. I'm going to take the Cavalier for a burn and get some 99 octane in it.
Seems like that.
Okay, so we're listening for any knocks, clonks, whines, rattles that shouldn't be there. Bearing in mind I've got a box full of tools in the boot, which might be confusing things. There's the engine management light, which is a lambda sensor. That just goes off anyway, we don't worry about that, that doesn't mean anything. Seems alright. I mean, we had the broken spring on the front of it, did the drive shaft gator, had a shock absorber off the back of it, I've had the springs out the back. Got 2 new calipers on the back and discs and everything. We need to clean the discs up, that's for sure. Oh, this thing's so long geared. Seems to be okay so far. I really need to do a bit of work here to get these brakes cleaned up, because those front discs are only, well, not old, they've only done a couple of thousand miles really, but they're rusty, so need to get them cleaned up. And also gets plenty of heat through everything, because it's been cold for so long. There's not even any question of the brakes locking up though. Excellent, so much better without the dodgy, usually not working ABS. What are you doing up here? See you later. Considering it's only just waking up, it's doing quite nicely. Just got to the Tesco for petrol at 10 to 11 at night, and there's a bloody queue because there's only 2 pumps open. No, 1 pump open, that's all there is. Great, better be able to get super at it. That went really well, as good as the car's ever run, and no problems with it at all there, handling, performance, everything. Spot on. It better bloody well go through the MOT tomorrow. I'll get up in the morning, do a few more jobs on it and just give it another shakedown in the daylight, and we'll see how it does. You can smell the brakes off it, which are really good actually. Those grooved and drilled discs and the pads that you get off eBay, can't remember the name, work really well. Right, bedtime. Done the bearings. That's it done. Need to get packed now. Get this stuff put away.